The battle for first place in the AFC West is set to unfold under the bright lights of Monday Night Football. The stakes could not be higher. The Raiders and the Chargers, two bitter rivals with no love lost between them, are about to clash in a game that may very well set the tone for the rest of the season. This isn't just another divisional matchup. It's a test of identity, resilience, and execution on the grandest stage the league can offer.
For the Raiders, the story begins with the quarterback.
Geno Smith silenced doubts in the season opener by delivering a performance few could have predicted. Carving through New England's defense, despite ugly rainy conditions, he threw for 362 yards, completing 24 of 34 passes, with 9 completions of 20 yards or more. Those aren't just good numbers for an opener. They're rare, almost historic boxes to check in a first outing. Indoors at Allegiant Stadium, the expectation is for Geno to be even better. His track record supports it. In 14 indoor starts with Seattle, he threw 30 touchdowns against just 5 interceptions. With a passer rating north of 110, the directive is obvious. Keep pushing the ball vertically, stress the Chargers' corners, and force their defense into uncomfortable territory. But football isn't just about quarterbacks. The run game, though not dominant in the opener, still served its purpose. Ashton Gentry struggled to find clean lanes on a slick field, managing only 38 yards on 19 carries. Yet his presence alone forced defenders to respect the threat of the run, creating space for play action to thrive. Against the Chargers, patience will be the key. If the box is stacked, don't slam into it. Get the back into space with wheel routes, screens, and quick throws. It's about keeping the defense honest and maintaining efficiency. That's critical because the Chargers' edge rush is relentless. And in this rivalry, one particular pass rusher always seems to rise to the occasion. Neutralizing that pressure will be as important as any deep shot at receiver. The plan adjusts depending on the health of the tight ends. Jakobi Meyers, who led the way with 10 targets against New England, is primed for another heavy workload. Trey Tucker's motion before the snap can force defenses to reveal whether they're in man or zone, giving Geno early answers. And then there's Dante Thornton Jr., the true field stretcher, whose top-end speed is a weapon waiting to be unleashed. The matchup to exploit lies with the Chargers' big outside corner player more physical than fast. That's where the Raiders must hunt for shot plays, forcing him to turn and run, creating opportunities to flip drives in a single snap. The tight ends remain central. All eyes will be on Brock Bowers and his knee. If he's on the field, even at less than 100%, he changes everything. Michael Mayer showed flashes last week with 4 catches for 38 yards. And in 12 personnel, the Raiders' offense becomes unpredictable. Heavy looks can compress the edges for protection, while still freeing up Myers, Tucker, and Thornton outside. It's the kind of balance that makes defenses guess wrong, and pay for it, of course. None of it works if the offensive line doesn't hold up. Last week, the Raiders allowed 4 sacks, 9 hurries, and 14 total pressures. The run blocking wasn't much better, with Gentry picking up 44 yards after contact, but only 38 overall. That has to change. The Chargers brought heat against the Chiefs on nearly 60% of snaps, and if they can do it with just 4 rushers, the Raiders could be in trouble. This has to be an Agami performance up front, or nothing else will matter. Defensively, the Raiders carved out their identity in the opener. Credit goes to the coordinators for a clear plan that disrupted New England's rhythm. But the challenge is steeper now. Justin Herbert can look elite when he's comfortable. The Raiders' job is to make him look like the version that shrinks under the primetime spotlight. Rush with for when possible, squeeze the pocket, disrupt throwing windows, and mix in pressure at the right times. Max Crosby must make his presence felt early. Tyree Wilson has to keep stacking positive snaps. And Malcolm Koonce's juice off the edge can't go unnoticed. This has to be one of those nights where the edge rushers remind everyone why they're paid to wreck games. Inside, the Raiders still have moving parts. Thomas Booker's quickness stood out last week even without a sack, while the only interior sack came from another tackle. The Chargers, who struggled to run last week, are likely to try harder on Monday night. Their featured back managed just 42 yards on 15 carries, that screams of a renewed commitment to establishing the ground game. If the Raiders can match that physicality and win the interior gaps, the whole Chargers plan wobbles. Win in the trenches, and hurried throws turn into opportunities for turnovers. The linebackers deserve credit for week 1. Devin White played fast. Jermaine Pratt was everywhere, and Tommy Eichenberg brought much-needed stability. That kind of consistency matters, especially when tight ends and backs become more involved in the passing game as they're expected to this week. Angle routes, option routes, and seams-off play action will test them. If they hold, the quick answers vanish. The clock extends. The rush has its chance to feast. At cornerback, things get more complicated. Q Blue Kelly showed the best tape last week and may see his role adjusted, but the step up in competition is real. Against Kansas City, the Chargers receivers led the league in production. 28 targets, 19 catches, 232 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Keenan Allen and rookie Ladd McConkey drive their rhythm, while Quinton Johnston lurks as the deep threat. Expect a lot of nickel coverage, with Eric Stokes and Kelly needing to hold their ground. One blown assignment could be the difference between winning and losing. The safeties will have to split duties perfectly. Isaiah Polamau must protect the boundary and keep everything in front, while Jeremy Chin will be asked to drive downhill and bring physicality. He did give up a score last week, but the role fits him. The mandate is clear: no freebies over the top. Force Herbert to dink and dunk. Turn their explosives into plodding drives. That's when the advantage swings to the Raiders, especially since their own offense is built to hunt big plays. Special teams could also be the X factor. Daniel Carlson went 2-for-3 in the opener, missing from 59. While A.J. Cole wasn't at his sharpest with 2 touchbacks on 5 punts, pinning the Chargers deep will matter more this week. Trey Tucker should see plenty of punt return work. Dylan Lobb flashed on kick returns. Zamir White's marching orders are simple: secure the football. In a game where the spread favors the Chargers by barely more than a field goal, one special teams play could be the separator. The prediction? Another razor-thin result, with the Raiders eking out a 31-30 win in a nail-biter. But predictions aside, the keys are obvious. Own the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Force Herbert into long second and third downs. Prevent explosives on defense while manufacturing them on offense. And treat every fourth-quarter snap like the one that decides the season. The football world will be watching. Allegiant Stadium will be packed. The blackout will be in full effect. And Raider Nation will roar with the kind of energy that shakes the ground. It's prime time. It's a rivalry. And it's a chance to grab control of the division in front of the entire country. The lights are on, the music is up, and all eyes will be on the trenches, where this war will be won or lost. What do you think, Raider fans? Is Geno Smith ready to outduel Justin Herbert and take control of the AFC West? Can the defense rise to the moment and contain one of the league's most talented quarterbacks? And will Allegiant Stadium become the fortress that pushes this team to another statement win? Let us know in the comments, and if you love these breakdowns, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join us all season long as we ride the highs and lows of Raider football.